Good evening and welcome to the Public Global. Today we'll be discussing, did US funded COVID-19? There is these stark revealing truths that Elon Musk is now revealing on X. And what he has said is, why was US Agency for International Development funding the Wuhan lab? He's raised this question and he's given lots of facts which point out to the direction. Did you know that USAID, using American tax dollars, funded bioweapon research, including COVID-19 that killed millions of people? USAID has been long accused of censoring American internet social media companies as a foreign-facing humanitarian NGO sponsor that everybody knows is just a CIA plot to deny access to information, spending 40 billion to bribe warlords in Africa, oligarchs in Ukraine, bringing terrorists in Afghanistan, disguising medical vans in Venezuela to supply weapons is actually not a foreign policy instrument, but a domestic control mechanism, which is the final straw. And Elon Musk is now saying that the Democrats, before the government of Joe Biden, had used US aid to fund, heroin sourcing from Afghanistan. It also engineered a protest, a public outcry against the government of Pakistan when Imran Khan was arrested. And it has also caused disruption in Brazil as well as Ethiopia. However, when we talk about COVID-19, USAID, through its organization EcoHealth Alliance, which funded the reckless research in Wuhan that caused COVID, killed 20 million people across the world and costed 25 trillion, receiving more than 65 million bait from USAID, and costed 25 trillion to the economy because we were devastated. Businesses were shut, cities were shut, countries were shut, and 2 years of our life was wasted in the lockdown. Who engineered it? Why did it happen? We are going to discuss this all. Dr. Robert Redfield, the former CDC director, says that the US taxpayer money from USAID, NIH, State Department, and DoD funded the creation of SARS-CoV-2 virus, which created havoc in the second lockdown. They wanted a single narrative and had a different point of view. Science has debate, and they squashed any debate. There's no doubt that NIH was funding gains of function research. Is it likely that American tax dollars funded the gain of function research that created this virus? I think it did, not only from NIH, but from the State Department, USAID, and from DoD. USAID funded 53 million to EcoHealth Alliance, which then used US taxpayers' fund to supply gain of function research on coronavirus at the Wuhan lab research that likely led to a creation of COVID-19. The CIA's deception regarding COVID-19 origin became much clearer when considering USAID long history of serving as a CIA front organization. I'm going to take you down to an interview. It's a 3-minute video. Kindly watch.
We had a breach of security in our intelligence community. Our eyes got eliminated. And I used to speculate about this, but I've now heard internal confirmation that what happened was that there was a quid pro quo set up basically out of desperation. And we transferred technology into Wuhan Institute of Virology. And the quid pro quo was to allow a limited number of human assets to have visibility about what was going on there. Okay. So the logic is we're in a bad situation. We know that these guys are doing stuff. We want to know what they're doing because we want to be in a position we can develop countermeasures for that. And so we want to do anything we can to get intelligence. And we've now lost all of our eyes. What are we going to do? Okay. Well, we strike a deal. The deal appears to have been that there was technology transfer associated with Ralph Barrick and that whole program involving modern advanced recombinant virology and recombinant DNA technology and known research having to do specifically about coronaviruses. Because if you go back in the literature, coronaviruses have been identified as one of the leading candidate agents for biowarfare for a very long time. So we knew that China was doing stuff. We didn't know what they were doing. We wanted to have eyes, and we engaged in a quid pro quo that involved both funding transfer and technology transfer, and Tony Fauci knew all about it. As did
just so I'm clear,
USAID.
we give them a bunch of technology.
We give them tech and money.
They develop all this, but then what? And then we're supposed to be able to see the results.
Right.
Okay. And so how does it play out?
It plays out that it appears, so this is speculation, this is the chain of events as I see it, okay?
Right.
There was technology transferred from EcoHealth Alliance and Ralph Barrick having to do with this furin cleavage site, the specific mutations, the engineering of the virus, and potentially passaging in a humanized mouse strain, etc., that gave rise to a cluster of coronaviruses that were kept banked. And by the way, they have a massive bank of other coronaviruses that is there and untapped. We don't even know what the contents are that they've been collecting in China for years and years and years. But they came up with a portfolio of recombinant viruses, and they were testing those recombinant viruses. So they were doing something. Somebody got infected. And the current timeline suggests that this happened in November, and the CCP came in and basically cleaned out the records and threw away the samples and did everything they could to make it so that you could never trace what had happened.
So, Dr. Robert Malone reveals shocking details about the true origins of COVID-19, exposing the United States' involvement under the full knowledge and participation of Dr. Anthony Fauci in a quid pro quo with China to gain intelligence about their bioweapons capabilities. How did this research directly lead to the outbreak that changed the world? You can see the full interview on Sean Spicer .log. That's a website that they have, and there's a Sean Spicer on YouTube. You can find the link there also. So coming back to the original talk that we were doing, with the annual budget exceeding 50 billion and activities in over 100 countries, USAID has repeatedly been linked to intelligence activities. Former USAID Director John Gilligan once admitted the agency was infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, explaining that the idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas. Government, volunteers, religion, or religious organizations, or any kind. In 2013, a US cable published by WikiLeaks outlined the US strategy to undermine Venezuela government through USAID by penetrating Chavez's political base, dividing Chavismo and isolating him internationally. So interfering in governments which are not agreeing to the US norm of the day are always infiltrated and overthrown. And USAID, as Elon Musk says, was involved through public funding, through public American taxpayers' money, to infiltrate and to also a conduit between the state agencies, between the CIA and also the federal agencies. They were all hand in glove, and USAID agency had CIA operatives working in it at the highest level. In 2014, the Associated Press revealed that USAID funded the creation of a Twitter-like platform intended to incite a rebellion in Cuba. USAID funding has been linked to coups in Haiti, Ukraine, Egypt, and other countries. From 2009 to 2019, USAID partnered with EcoHealth Alliance on the PREDICT program, which identified 1,200 new viruses, trained 500 people globally in disease detection, and enhanced 60 research labs. This partnership provided the CIA with a direct channel for embedding human assets within biological research facilities worldwide in exchange for funding and technological transfer. In 2022, Dr. Andrew Huff, a former vice president of EcoHealth Alliance, publicly revealed Dr. Peter Zach's alleged ties to the CIA. And what's the core issue? The CIA lied to the American public about COVID-19's origin because acknowledging the truth would expose its likely role in funneling taxpayers' money through USAID to financing gain of function research at the Wuhan lab. So all these things were happening at that point of time, and we need to take stock of the situation. There was a quid pro quo setup, and we transferred technology into Wuhan Institute of Virology to allow a limited number of human assets to have visibility of what was going on there. So this is what it is. There's been technological transfer associated with other things that will be coming on lately. However, to this allegation, various senator to belonging to the Democrats Republic have also thrown in their towel. And outside the USAID office, I will show you what happened last evening.
You didn't create USAID. The United States Congress did for the American people. And just like Elon Musk did not create USAID, he doesn't have the power to destroy it. And who's going to stop him? We are. We're going to stop him. Elon Musk, you may have illegally seized power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury, but you don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that under Article 1 of the Constitution. And just like the president who is elected to something cannot impound the money of the people, we don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk. And that's going to become real clear.
So as you see, Representative Jamie Raskins blasts Elon Musk outside USAID headquarters, declaring that Democrats will block this Department of Government Efficiency from eliminating government waste and fraud. Elon Musk, you didn't create USAID. He doesn't have the power to destroy it. And who will stop him? He said, we will stop him. We don't have the fourth branch of government called Elon Musk. Meanwhile, the US has 37 trillion in debt, and Americans elect President Trump, who promised to empower Elon Musk and Department of Government Efficiency to cut wasteful spending. Let's see how this plays out. Right now, USAID office is closed for staff. How it turns out to be, we will talk about it in the next episode. I hope and pray that you like our program today. Please do write in the comment box how we can make it better. Goodbye for now. Thank you.